Ankylosaurus magniventris weighed 8,000 kilograms or 17,600 pounds, heavier than 3 cars. Paleontologists spent 100 years calling it a slow, defensive tank that avoided conflict. Then a 2022 study from the Royal Ontario Museum proved this assumption catastrophically wrong. Ankylosaurus wasn't defensive, it was an aggressive killer that hunted other dinosaurs. For a century, museums displayed Ankylosaurus as a peaceful herbivore that only used its tail club when cornered. Makes sense, right? Heavily armored animals are slow and cautious. Not to worry though. Biomechanical analysis of the tail structure revealed this creature could generate 14,000 newtons of force in a single swing, enough to shatter T-Rex leg bones on impact. Ankylosaurus didn't defend itself. It dominated its territory through targeted aggression. The first Ankylosaurus fossils were discovered in Montana's Hell Creek Formation in 1906 by paleontologist Barnum Brown. He found a partial skull, armor plates, and that distinctive tail club, a mass of fused bone measuring 60 centimeters or 24 inches wide as a truck tire. The club alone weighed approximately 50 kilograms or 110 pounds, equivalent to a full-grown Rottweiler swinging from the end of a 2-meter tail. Brown published his findings in 1908, describing Ankylosaurus as a slow-moving herbivore with defensive armor. The scientific community agreed. Heavy armor equals slow movement equals passive defense. This interpretation dominated paleontology for the next 114 years. Shockingly, almost every assumption about Ankylosaurus behavior was backwards. The breakthrough came when researchers at the Royal Ontario Museum conducted CT scans of complete Ankylosaurus tail vertebrae. These weren't just support structures. The vertebrae had specialized interlocking joints that created a rigid handle extending 2 meters or 6.5 feet from the body. This wasn't designed for clumsy defensive swipes. This was a precision striking weapon. The tail club itself reveals the true purpose. CT analysis showed the club wasn't symmetrical like a wrecking ball. It was asymmetrical with a flattened striking surface on one side, identical to modern sledgehammers. You don't need a sledgehammer shape for defense. You need it for targeted destruction. But here's what makes it worse. Computer simulations tested swing mechanics at various speeds. Ankylosaurus could swing that club at 40 kilometers or 25 miles per hour, faster than a human can punch. The asymmetrical club design meant all force concentrated on a 15 centimeter or 6-inch impact zone. That's 14,000 newtons focused on an area smaller than your fist. In case you needed more proof, paleontologists examined predator fossils from the same formation. Multiple Tyrannosaurus specimens show leg fractures consistent with blunt force trauma. The fracture patterns match perfectly with Ankylosaurus club dimensions. These weren't defensive injuries from desperate prey. These were offensive strikes that shattered bones and ended hunts. Unfortunately for Cretaceous predators, Ankylosaurus aimed low deliberately. The tail club hung approximately 80 centimeters or 31 inches above ground, perfect height for striking knees, ankles, and lower leg bones. Break a predator's leg, and that predator starves. Ankylosaurus didn't need to kill immediately, it just needed to cripple. The armor plating tells a complementary story. Scientists analyzed wear patterns on osteoderms, the bony plates covering the body. Traditional thinking suggested uniform armor for all-around protection. Wrong. The armor concentrated heaviest on the hips and tail base, not the head or back. This distribution makes zero sense for defense against predator bites. T-Rex attacked the neck and back, not the hips. But the pattern makes perfect sense for an animal that deliberately provoked fights. Heavy hip armor protected the tail's power source, the massive muscles that generated club velocity. Ankylosaurus armored its weapon system, not its entire body. A 2021 study from the University of Alberta examined Ankylosaurus foot structure. The feet weren't built like other herbivores. Sauropods had column-like feet for supporting massive weight while standing. Hadrosaurs had 3-toed feet for running. Ankylosaurus had 4 wide toes with thick padding, identical to modern elephants. You couldn't run fast on feet like that, but you could pivot rapidly. Computer modeling showed Ankylosaurus could rotate its entire body 90 degrees in under 1 second, despite weighing 8 tons. Predators circling for attack position suddenly faced a tail club swinging at 40 kilometers per hour into their legs. Talk about specialized combat equipment. Every aspect of Ankylosaurus anatomy optimized for offensive engagement, not passive defense. The skull provides additional evidence. CT scans revealed the nasal passages had complex turbinates, bony structures that cooled inhaled air during heavy exertion. Modern animals with these structures engage in sustained physical activity. Sloths don't have turbinates. Predators and aggressive herbivores do. Ankylosaurus had turbinates more complex than many theropods. Then researchers analyzed tooth wear patterns. Ankylosaurus teeth showed unusual wear, not from grinding tough plants, but from rapid jaw movement during aggressive displays. Modern aggressive herbivores like hippos exhibit identical patterns. They grind their teeth while threatening rivals and predators. The wear patterns prove Ankylosaurus regularly engaged in confrontational behavior. No modern herbivore does this, but Ankylosaurus had binocular vision. The eye sockets angled forward, creating overlapping visual fields that allowed depth perception. Purely defensive herbivores have eyes on the sides of their heads for maximum peripheral vision. Forward-facing eyes are for judging distance during strikes, the same adaptation seen in predators and aggressive animals. The 2022 Royal Ontario Museum study included behavioral modeling based on all anatomical features. Researchers input body mass, armor distribution, tail mechanics, foot structure, and vision into computer simulations. They tested thousands of predator-prey interaction scenarios. The results shocked paleontology. Ankylosaurus survived best when it initiated aggression. Simulations where Ankylosaurus waited to be attacked resulted in 40% mortality. Simulations where Ankylosaurus struck first resulted in 5% mortality. The anatomy only makes sense if this animal actively attacked potential threats rather than avoiding them. Shockingly, the study revealed Ankylosaurus likely established and defended territories. The energy cost of carrying 1,000 kilograms or 2,200 pounds of armor was enormous. You don't invest that much biological resources into armor unless you're protecting high-value resources worth fighting for. Fossil distribution supports this. Ankylosaurus remains concentrate in specific areas of the Hell Creek Formation, suggesting territorial behavior rather than nomadic herding. Modern territorial herbivores like hippos kill more humans than any African predator. Ankylosaurus probably killed more predators than most people realize. The tail club damage capacity extends beyond leg breaking. Biomechanical testing showed a direct hit to a T-Rex ribcage could puncture internal organs. The club's flattened striking surface concentrated force like a battering ram. Ribs designed to withstand bite pressure from other predators couldn't withstand perpendicular blunt force trauma. You couldn't even attack from above to avoid the tail. Ankylosaurus had spiked armor plates extending vertically along its sides, 15 centimeter or 6-inch spikes angled upward. Jumping onto its back meant impaling yourself. The only safe attack angle was head-on, which meant approaching a creature that could pivot 90 degrees in 1 second and shatter your leg. In case you needed more proof of aggressive behavior, juvenile Ankylosaurus fossils show different armor patterns than adults. Juveniles had lighter armor concentrated on the back, actual defensive positioning. Adults shifted armor to the hips and tailbase. This change proves Ankylosaurus behavior transformed from defensive when young to offensive when mature. A 2023 study from Montana State University examined Hell Creek Formation predator diversity. During the 2 million years Ankylosaurus dominated the ecosystem, large predator populations declined by 30%. Smaller theropods became more common while apex predators became rarer. The study suggests Ankylosaurus may have actively suppressed predator populations through aggressive territorial defense. The geographic range supports dominance, not timidity. Ankylosaurus fossils appear across western North America, from Montana to New Mexico, a range exceeding 1,500 kilometers or 930 miles. Defensive species with specialized habitat requirements don't achieve that distribution. Aggressive territorial species that can dominate multiple environments do. Then there's the temporal dominance. Ankylosaurus appeared approximately 68 million years ago and survived until the asteroid impact 66 million years ago. That's 2 million years of evolutionary success, using aggressive tactics in an ecosystem with the most powerful predators in Earth's history. Unfortunately for paleontologists, museum displays showing passive Ankylosaurus hiding from predators are completely backwards. The evidence proves Ankylosaurus actively patrolled territories, initiated conflicts with potential threats, and used that tail club to cripple or kill anything that challenged its dominance. Modern defensive herbivores run when threatened. Zebras flee from lions. Deer flee from wolves. Ankylosaurus had feet built for pivoting, not running. Armor concentrated on weapon systems, not vital organs. Vision optimized for judging strike distance, not detecting distant threats. Every single anatomical feature supports offense over defense. The 2022 study fundamentally changed how paleontologists understand armored dinosaurs. Heavy armor doesn't mean passive prey. Sometimes armor means an animal is so aggressive, it needs protection from counterattacks while initiating violence, like a medieval knight wearing plate armor specifically to enable offensive charges. Ankylosaurus dominated Hell Creek Formation for 2 million years. It survived alongside T-Rex, Dakotaraptor, and Acuroraptor, some of the deadliest predators that ever lived. It didn't survive by hiding. It survived by breaking legs, cracking ribs, and teaching predators that attacking this 8-ton tank meant career-ending injuries. That's the reality of Ankylosaurus magniventris. Not a slow, defensive herbivore that avoided conflict, not a gentle giant that only fought when cornered, but an aggressive territorial enforcer that used precision strikes to cripple predators and dominate one of the most dangerous ecosystems in prehistoric history. Paleontologists got it completely wrong for 100 years. The evidence proved it, and Ankylosaurus was far deadlier than anyone imagined.